going on, everybody? Welcome to Smokestack Joe's. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do the best pulled pork using the pit barrel cooker. We are going to be using a pork butt today, or a Boston butt. That's your best option for pulled pork. There's also the picnic shoulder, which I don't recommend. It will work, but the best pulled pork usually is using a pork butt, sometimes called a Boston butt. That's what we're going to be using today. So we got to make a rub for it first. I'm also going to show you how to make a nice sauce to add to the pulled pork later that takes it to another level. So first thing we got to do, we're going to get this pit barrel lit. I'm going to be using some apple wood, perfect combination for pork. Let's get that pit barrel lit and I'll show you how to make that rub. Alright, so rub. It's going to be a super simple rub today. Started off with salt, about 2 tablespoons of salt. Then you want about 1.5 tablespoons crushed red pepper. Same amount of cayenne pepper. Then we want about 1 tablespoon of black pepper. Then another tablespoon garlic powder. Tablespoon mustard powder. And last we want about 1.5 tablespoons MSG. Alright, now go ahead and just give this all a mix. Alright, now let's get our pork belly all seasoned up and onto the pit. Here is our pork butt, ready to go. This is skinless. This is 7.3 pounds pork butt, bone in. That's what I like using. Let's get this baby cut open and seasoned. I like to go ahead and just pat these dry. Alright, now you can just go around and look for any nasty stuff like this. Got some veins here. Cut that out. Pork butt usually comes trimmed pretty well. This one obviously needs a little work. Alright, so that's a little better there. Alright, so you got the bone here, and you got the bone here. That's where you're going to see the bone. These usually come skinless. If yours has the skin on it, I would go ahead and take that off unless you have a way of crisping it up when you're finished. Otherwise, it's not going to be too pleasant. But this one's got no skin, so we're ready to go. Alright, so we got that rub we just made. Go ahead and season this generously. This is a large piece of meat. And if this seasoning isn't something you think you'd like, might be a little spicy. It's got a lot of pepper in there. You got the red pepper flakes, the cayenne, the black pepper. You want to just go get some store-bought barbecue rub? Go ahead. Not a problem. I prefer this on my pork. It's got great flavor. And the rub's not too important because once you shred it up, there's not going to be too much of that flavor in there. It's more going to be about that sauce that we make later. Definitely get the sides. All right, this looks pretty good. Pat it in nice. Again, some people like to use a binder, mustard, or whatever. I don't think that that's necessary. These are usually pretty tacky enough when they come out. If for some reason yours is super dry, go ahead and use a binder, that's fine. We're going to be hanging this in the pit barrel, so I'm going to go ahead and get some hooks. Got our hooks, let's get them in. When you put the hooks in a pork butt, sometimes it's hard because you got that bone running through there. And you want these hooks to be nice and deep inside here because this can fall off the hook. It will get tender enough and it'll just fall off the hook and it's going to go right in your fire, and you don't want that. I would like to get this thicker part down towards the bottom. So that would mean getting my hooks up here. As you can see, this is a lot thicker though, but you do have that bone right here running like this. So you got to keep that in mind when putting your hooks in. What I think I will try to do, get a hook in here. I'm going right next to this bone, and then we'll just get another one on the other side. This one shouldn't be bad because we don't have a bone over here. So there we have it. Pork butt seasoned, hooks in, pit barrel's going with some apple wood. Let's throw it in. All right, let's get this pork butt on. Just gonna go ahead and hang this in here. Alright, so that pork butt's on the pit barrel. I'm looking to take it up to about 160 to 170 degrees. Once we get to that point, we're going to pull it off and wrap it in some butcher paper, and then we're going to put it back on the pit barrel and let it get up to about 205. So I will see you once this pork butt reaches 160 degrees. Alright, so this pork has been taking a little longer than I thought it might. We are at the 6.5 hour mark, and we are at 160 degrees. The bark on this thing looks perfect though. So we're going to go ahead and pull it off, wrap it up, throw it back on until we get to that 198 to 203 temp. Around the 198 mark, you want to go ahead and start probing it and see how tender it is. Might be done at that 198 mark. So let's pull it off and get it wrapped. All right, so we're going to be doing a little foil boat action on this pork butt. The first thing you want to do is lay down a little tin foil. I like to use this foil boat style method because it keeps all the juices in, lets it steam up nice. We're going to be wrapping up in butcher paper. I like to go ahead and spray this down with some apple cider vinegar and water mixture. Just lets that paper get nice and soaked. We want moisture in there to steam. Let this pork belly get nice and tender. Then I'm going with some of this Wagyu beef tallow from South Chicago Packing. You get this on Amazon. It's great stuff. You can never go wrong with beef tallow. Throw a good glob on there. Spread this around. All right, let's get that pork butt. Here we are. Take these hooks out. Nice bark on here. Beautiful. Now we just need this thing to get nice and tender. We got this wrapped up in the butcher paper with the beef tallow. Take your tin foil. You don't want to totally wrap this thing. We just want that moisture to stay inside of this thing instead of dripping out of the butcher paper onto the coals. So that moisture will heat up and steam through this whole thing. But leaving this top exposed like this will allow our bark to stay nice and crispy. Let's get this thing back on the smoker, and we're gonna pull this thing off around 198. So I will see you then. All right, we got the pork butt wrapped up on the pit barrel, finishing it off. So while we wait, let's make this sauce that we're gonna add to the pulled pork afterwards. It's gonna be fantastic. Let's make this. All right, get a pot over medium heat. First step, apple cider vinegar, about a cup. Next, soy sauce, a couple tablespoons. Couple tablespoons ketchup, tablespoon mustard, couple tablespoons honey, tablespoon of hot sauce, tablespoon black pepper, some crushed red pepper flakes, couple tablespoons brown sugar. Last will be the juice of a lime. All right, now we just mix this all up, let it warm up a bit. Want all those flavors to meld together. All right, so this sauce is ready for our pulled pork. All right, so this pork butt took 8.5 hours, a little longer than I thought, but not a problem. I let it rest for about an hour and a half. Let's check this thing out. Super tender. We're gonna pull it and add our sauce. Do it. Here we go. Super juicy. Lots of juice in this foil boat. Still super hot. Lots of juice in here. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna drain this off into my pan. So I got a tin pan. I'm gonna put this in when I shred it. Check out these juices we got out of this pork. Just ridiculous. You're gonna wanna save that. That's fantastic flavor. You're gonna wanna throw your shredded pork back in here. Delicious. Back to the pork. Now, here's that bone. Check this out. Yup, clean. Comes right out. That's what you are looking for. Let's do some of this. Look at this. Yup. Super tender. This is what you want here. Fantastic. Oh yeah. Get some of that bark in there. This just falls apart. You just dig at it. Look at this. Oh, so tender, super juicy. This is pulled pork, guys. Come on, look at this. Yes, yep, delicious. All right, let's get this fully shredded. We're gonna throw it in this pan, add our sauce. So get yourself a nice pan that you save those juices in. Throw this whole thing in there. Now, just go to town. Shred this baby up. Look at this. Oh my, it's gonna be some delicious pulled pork. Shred it as coarse or fine as you like. This is all on you. Get yourself some nice gloves. Cotton line, throw some rubber gloves over. It's the best way to do this because this is hot. Give it some flips. There's gonna be some big chunks in there. Just go around and squeeze it all. If you find anything in there you don't like, you know, something like this, a little chewy strand, get rid of that. All right, once you got it pulled kind of nice, go ahead and get some of that sauce we made earlier. Go ahead and dump this in pretty generously. This pork will really soak it up, and just go ahead and mix it up. Don't be worried about going too heavy on this. It really will soak it up nicely. That vinegar flavor is fantastic with this pork. Super moist. The vinegar kind of tenderizes this pork even more. You just kind of want to go by taste. I can go a little more. Taste it out, add the sauce as you like. That's what this is about. Perfect. All right, guys, we got our pulled pork done using the pit barrel cooker. This is some of the best stuff you will ever make. You're trying to supply food for a party, a ton of guests. This is the way to go. Super cheap, lots of meat, absolutely delicious. Let's go ahead and give this a try. It's super just tender. Put this on some sandwiches, some tacos. Awesome. All right, let's give this a try. So good. Super tender, super juicy. That vinegar sauce is awesome with the pork. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video. Check me out on Instagram. Got a bunch of good pictures on there all the time. Till next time, Smokestack Joe's.